Welcome to season 2 of Cigar Time.
Season 2! Woo, we made it!
All right.
Awesome, guys.
This is our 53rd show. I want to give kudos to the crowd.
Yay, for the audience.
Yeah, we want to thank our studio audience.
Without you guys, we would not be here.
I was coming to that. I was coming to that. And you, many tens of thousands of you who watch every week religiously. And what can I say? It's been a great year, and we hope to have many more years to come. Again, I implore everybody, thanks for coming into our 9 stores to shop, but go to your local brick and mortar store, support them with the cooler weather coming up, football time's here finally.
Football.
And support them as well. Go to their stores, enjoy their lounges, buy their products, and you know, we're all in this together. We're one big happy family in the cigar business. Well,
Yeah, we are.
mostly happy. And
We straighten things out with Rob. It's cool.
But we're all big, yeah.
yeah, we let him back on the island. We almost voted Tia off the island last year.
Last week, yeah.
Wow.
Who's getting voted off this week?
She swam back.
The lovely, vivacious, erudite Miss T.
That was you. That was you. Send your letters to Tia
They
Calhoun.
didn't hear me.
P.O. Box 6109,
Right side.
Murray Hill Station, New York. The lovely Miss
19101.
T will tell you all about our cigar for today.
Our cigar today is the Jew Estate Herrera Esteli. This is my favorite cigar.
We're not rating it yet.
I know, not yet. Okay, I just had to say that because I love the cigar. The wrapper is Ecuadorian Habano, the binder is Honduran, and the filler is... Damn, I did it! I knew I was going to do it!
Awesome.
I knew it! Oh,
Awesome.
I knew it!
A whole year and she's still doing it.
Honduran.
Honduran.
And the filler is Nicaraguan.
Nicaraguan.
From the Honduras.
And so I said to myself, wouldn't it be crazy if I
Folks,
messed
as you
up
may
on
have
the
guessed
first-
by now, this is a very low budget show, and this is the best talent we can afford.
And I just burnt myself.
You pay me? Okay, the sizes are Bellicoso, Corona, Lancero or Panatella, Robusto, and Toro. And the flavor profile is notes of spice, cedar, cream, and roasted nuts. Just want to point out that Drew Estate was founded in '95 by Jonathan Drew and Marvin Samuel in New York City. It is
Owen Bieber.
It is now one of the world's largest makers of hand-rolled cigars. So,
And it's Drew Estate Month.
and it's Drew Estate Month.
All month, buy any 5 Drew Estate cigars, and we'll give you 2 more.
What was that?
It was something flying around.
Must have been those Honduran bees.
Wait, I think it's your tobacco.
Scott, aren't we doing events in all of our stores?
We
Yeah.
are. Actually, this week, I got to switch pages.
And who are we
we
doing?
have to, let's not forget, we have to talk about the new rating system.
Oh, that's
We'll
right.
get where that
We'll
later.
get to that. Actually, this week, this Friday, we're going to be in Horsham from 11 to 2 with Drew Estate, and then Colmar from 6 to 9 o'clock, actually. And Dr. I can never pronounce his name, the owner of Hoy de Nicaragua, Dr. Cuencia.
Something like that.
Cuenca is
Yeah.
going to be here. He founded and he owns the Hoy de Nicaragua cigars.
Awesome.
So he'll be here in Horsham and Colmar this weekend.
Cool.
And of course, we'll have much better specials than the just buy 5 get 2.
And Chris Stone will be here as well. From
Yeah,
Drew.
Chris Stone will be here with all his stuff and craziness.
Awesome.
Just want to mention one of our sponsors, Zycar, cutting and lighting everything with our Zycar cutters and lighters. That's all.
I just like to point out something. Size, when it's coming to cigars, we're talking about cigars here. I think size with the flavor really does make a difference.
Of course.
Because I had one of these the other day in a smaller size. I believe it was the Corona, and it just completely tastes different,
Well,
especially
yeah,
on the
well,
initial
it will
light up.
taste
It
I
really
agree with
does.
you, but I really like that Corona one.
I do too.
I thought it was fantastic.
too.
If I had to guess, you like the bigger sizes.
No, I like smaller size too.
Oh.
And let me just
That's how you smoke it, right?
Yeah, it's how you smoke it. No, it's how you blow on the. No, okay. Anyway, the point is,
Apparently,
You guys-
season 2 is.
I just have to say something. When we had the Monte Cristo Lounge opening, the rep gave me a Gordo cigar, right? And I said, "Why are you giving me such a big cigar?" He said, "Isn't that your favorite size?"
Now, how does that feel in your mouth?
my favorite size, but not to smoke. My
how does
favorite
that
size
feel?
to smoke is a
Not to
smaller
smoke.
size.
Well, what is it that
How
you
does
do
that-
with that?
Yeah, how does
I just
that
like
big,
it.
How does
Oh.
that big one feel in
She
your
just
mouth?
likes it.
It's
Wow.
fine, really. Really, Ashman? Really,
Really?
Art?
What?
Nothing.
No, not everybody can handle, a 6
I like
by
the
6.
I like the asylums, which are an 8
I
by
can't.
60.
Where are your guys' minds at?
I like the asylums, which are an 8 by 60.
Wow, that's a
Dang.
big cigar.
I like to take it to the bar. It's so hilarious.
I can imagine.
Are you sober or otherwise?
Yeah, no, I'm sober. Pair it with my margarita.
Well, thanks for joining us.
In case you hadn't noticed, this is cigar time.
Oh, yeah.
And size does matter.
It
Scott, why don't you
Apparently.
tell us about something?
Something? All right. Well, we're smoking our cigar. We've actually decided in the beginning of season 2 to start a new rating system.
Yeah.
Instead of 1 through 5, which didn't, we found too many cigars were ending up in the somewhere between 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe even between 4.5 and 5. So we decided to go on a scale of 1 to 10. And I'm going to read these off because I don't have them memorized. But we've also attached if you will, a description to each of those. So a 10 would mean the cigar is supreme. A 9 would mean the cigar is excellent. 8 is a good cigar. 7, solid. 6, just okay. A 5 is buy it if it's cheap. 4 would be a dog walker. 3 would be a dog turd. A 2 would be a walking dog turd. And a number 1 would not be in our store.
I don't think
Sure.
1, 2, or 3 should be in our stores. But
Well,
that's
you
neither here nor there.
A 4
well,
either.
once in a while, a walking dog.
A walking dog is good.
So we
Yeah.
wanted to attach some kind of meaning to the numbers. So beginning today, we're going to
Yep.
scales 1 to 10.
And graduations in between, like 8.5.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be 8.56
Want
if you
to
like.
explain to everybody. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
good,
yeah.
good.
Cool.
Good. All right.
What's everybody's first impression?
Oh, this is a great cigar. I've had this before, and this cigar is just as good as all the rest. Very, very popular cigar. Let me see the flavors here.
I think that dark
Well, it says it
chocolate's
right there.
massive.
Notes of.
I want my own.
Oh,
All right, fine. I get notes of spice. I'm getting cedar, cream.
I'm gonna spit my
Roasted
juice
nuts.
out.
I thought it said roasted nibs. I thought it was
Oh.
little licorice pieces.
No, it's very good. I do find it's very creamy and smooth.
Paul?
Predominantly up front, I'm getting some spice and a lot of cedar. That's what jumps right out at me.
Tia?
Definitely getting the spice. That's the first thing that jumps out is the spice. But like I said, with the different size I had before, it was a little bit sweeter. So interesting.
I'm definitely getting the spice. I'm also getting a little wood taste.
I'll sit next to Tia.
Getting a little-
You knew it as soon as it came out, Rob.
It's still in the words in a little bubble over here, and I finally realized what I said.
And I have to work with these people.
Yeah, I'm getting a little wood.
We heard it the first
You
three
like it
times,
that much?
I did.
and I have to follow that.
Yeah.
Good luck.
It's a very good cigar. I imagine this is not exactly a 250 special either.
It is not.
This is, by the way, I might add. So let me just add this. This is the first one of these I've ever smoked.
Really?
I've never had one of these before, to the best of my knowledge.
I don't think you've ever had it.
And I depend on you to tell me that.
Yeah.
And I don't believe I've had one.
I don't think you have.
You talked about the sizes, right, Tia?
Yeah.
We should point out that the Lancero is phenomenal, and they're very rare.
Yes.
I
Very
don't know
hard to
if you
get.
guys understand how rare they are, but
The
How
size
rare
is
are
rare,
they?
or
Yeah.
just the whole brand? This brand is rare.
well, this brand isn't. It's not rare, but they're
Okay.
tough to get.
Tough to
Okay.
get, yeah.
It's not a
and
cheap
the
Lancero
Lancero
is a-
size. It's a special edition, so they're limited.
It's not a cheap cigar either. I mean,
No.
it ranges from
Life's too
$8.10,
short.
and the Lancero is $12. So
Right.
it's
Wow.
But it's one of those that I'm confident in saying it's worth it.
Yeah.
That's
Definitely.
very decent. Paul, do you have anything today to enlighten us with?
no.
Well,
Okay, thank you, Paul.
no, I just wanted to briefly mention about who this cigar is named after and who
The
blended
master
it.
blender.
Did this fellow used to play first base for the Phillies?
That's Willie the Philly.
No, that was
Willie
Pancho
Montañez.
Herrera.
Willie Montañez.
Willie Mon-
No,
Montañez.
Pancho Herrera
We're
for
not
you
talking about-
old timers.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Willie Herrera used to be the owner and head of a little factory in Calle Ocho in Miami called El Titan de Bronze.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'm sorry. And
comes up later.
He was recruited by Drew Estate to become their master blender
In 2011.
because their feeling was the skill that he brought to creating new cigars in that little factory would translate very well with all of the leaf and the broad palette that he could work with in the Drew Estate factory. And I believe this is the first result of his efforts.
It's very Cubanesque
Yeah.
blending
Yeah,
style.
there's definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
And
very
they wanted
good.
that to be portrayed in
the-
this cigar.
Even the
so,
cigar
yeah.
ring is actually.
Cool.
It is.
Oh, I haven't even talked about the bands anymore.
Go ahead.
Wow.
Now's your chance. Superstar.
Band is nice.
Nicely done. I like that.
Dynamite dropping.
I just want to tell everybody at home, this is a truly unscripted show. We have a couple of notes up on the board, basically the sizes and obviously the cigar we're talking about and reviewing. But other than that, this is all, well, somewhat live, and all the comments are right from the cup. I mean, what comes out of their mouths,
true.
oh, God forbid,
Yeah.
Can't be
is
controlled.
unscripted.
You never know what you're going to
You
get.
never
That's
know what
true.
you're going to
We
get.
are
Like
a
a
box of chocolate.
Box of chocolate.
Yes,
my
you
You
do. They
never
have a little
know
thing
what
that says what
you're
you're going to
gonna
get. That's a load of crap, that movie.
Oh, it is?
There's a little thing in
there's
the
a map.
chocolate.
There's a
It's
link.
map. It says what
Sometimes
you're
they
gonna
don't
get.
say what
Oh, the
they
Whitman
are.
sampler.
Yeah.
I
It
The
says
Whitman
right
does.
there.
That's why I like
Cherry,
Whitman sampler.
Yeah, but he
whatever.
couldn't read.
He could read fine. Tom
Before
Hanks.
before we get to our review of the cigar, just a few brief comments on things that are happening in the cigar business that you may have some interest in. Most of you know by now that the FDA has come down in April with their deeming regulation, which, depending on how you interpret things and who you listen to, is somewhat confusing. We have a different handle on it, and those of you who come into our stores, especially the Horsham store, we're happy to fill you in. It's too lengthy to get into right now. But we believe in the coming years there will be, for various reasons, a consolidation in our business where some of the larger companies will buying up some of the smaller boutique lines and putting them under their own, head. One of them happened recently, a few weeks back, with the Tarano, one of the oldest makers of cigars in the world.
Yeah, they used to make cigars for
CAO.
everybody.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they were.
And
They
then
were.
a few years ago, they just stopped making
Two
them.
nicer people. too.
Yeah, they're-
Oh, yeah.
Charlie and Charlie. Just
I've
really nice.
I've
And
known the
Jack.
father, the son-in-law, the son for many, many years, and they sold out to General Cigar Company, the manufacturers of brands like Macanudo and Partagas and Punch and El Rey del Mundo. Excuse me, not El Rey del Mundo.
They make it,
Excalibur
but not
and
for-
Hoya de Monterrey. They make it, but not for their own. And La Gloria. Did I say La Gloria?
La Gloria.
I said La
Gloria.
Gloria.
And they recently, in line with what you're saying, they recently purchased, 2 or 3 years ago, CAO.
CAO.
Yeah, they purchased
Yeah,
CAO.
you're talking about General, right?
And about 10
Yeah.
years ago, they purchased La Gloria Cabana.
Right.
And I think most of us feel that as the years go by and the months go by, there'll be more consolidation where the smaller brands will be gobbled up by
Why?
the larger brands. Well, because it's possible under the new rules from the FDA that the ability to get a new blend on the marketplace may be a lengthy and costly endeavor, which will limit, the amount of people that can do this, because a lot of the smaller cigar companies are just that small.
Well, let's also point out that it's not a definite that's. I mean,
Not
it's,
yet.
No,
It's
but
not
but
definite. We're not saying that this
It's looking
is
that way.
happening.
It's looking
It
that
is
way.
definitely looking like that.
Wow.
I
So
don't know.
it's just going to make it very difficult for some of the smaller manufacturers.
Right, to get new blends
Yeah,
introduced. Yeah.
Exactly.
We hope
You think
that
prices will
we
stay
hope
the
that
same?
won't be happening, but there is a possibility that there will be some consolidation in the coming months and years. So, just want to alert everybody that it doesn't impact or affect anybody tomorrow morning, but there is a possibility down the road that the selling of cigars, especially premium cigars in this country, may be somewhat different than what it is today.
We'll still be able to get them. It's still.
Oh
no
yeah,
problem.
yeah.
You're not going to not be able to get them.
It's not going to probably change the consumers' lives a whole lot, but
No.
on the
Yeah.
other side, on the other end of the business, that's where it's going to have a. big
It'll be
effect.
more of an industry situation than necessarily a consumer situation.
It
Oh,
might
okay.
be a chilling note on the development of new, interesting, unique cigars.
Yeah.
Just because, and I think the best model for this is also from the FDA. if you want to come up with a new drug today, it costs just in testing to get approval over $100 million to get a new drug approved.
Wow.
I don't think it's ever going to cost that much to get a new cigar approved, but on order of magnitude, it's going to be, as you said, a costly and lengthy proposition.
I think the lengthy is the scarier of the two.
Well, I have a strange feeling that in the upcoming year, when they should announce the final rules, that there'll be some mitigation of some of the more onerous conditions of the deeming regulation, and possibly certain things may be finalized that will not make it quite as chilling to bring out new blends or whatever. But again, that's just one man's guess.
You know, we have to see if we can get those people to announce it on our show.
That would be nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
But I think,
and shoot them if we don't like it.
We don't like it.
You're done. Give them the hook and just shoot them.
What the FDA wants is that they want the, I guess, recipe, or what we call the blend of the cigar. And I guess after the first couple, they're going to realize, oh, it's tobacco.
Yeah.
So they're gonna figure that out fairly quickly, and they're gonna have to come up with something else, which I'm guessing they're gonna want the nicotine content.
Do you know what might affect the consumer is when a company like General buys Torano, they may change the blend of all Torano cigars. So if you have fans of Torano cigars like the 1916 or the Exodus line or the San Lucia or whatever, they may change those blends, and the consumers might not like it anymore. That's a problem.
Yeah, they have full ownership.
General did that with CAO. When they bought the company, they did not buy the blends, and their blenders had to come up with new versions of that cigar.
I think it will be on a. You're right, but I think it will be on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah.
It's my understanding that they bought the name. They didn't buy the company. They bought the blends and they bought the name.
We'll see.
So, but you're right that there could be other situations where they
we're
don't.
saying going in the future.
Yes.
When bigger companies buy smaller companies. So.
Well, again, nobody has to jump out of their underwear on this because it's still a ways off.
What underwear?
Okay. We just again, in our continuation of trying to keep you up to speed on what's going on in Washington, because we have our ear very close to the ground, and those of you who are supporting the industry-wide, trying to get votes in Congress to overturn the FDA rules and things like that. Of course, I'm sure you're reading everything available. I know we all do, but that's all I have to say on the subject, because there's not much more to report, because we don't expect anything to come down from the feds till at least April or May of next year. So we still have a ways to go, and I don't think, at least for premium cigars, I don't think the world will end over it. I think there'll still be a very thriving, healthy business where you'll still have plenty of choices, decent price points. Can't say anything about taxes being raised or anything, because we don't know that. None of that was in the law anyway. There will be some cost of regulation that I'm sure will be passed on. But again, for premium cigars being such a small portion of the tobacco industry, it may not be so onerous. So I think it's time to move on and talk about this cigar and give it a rating. Scott, you want to start out?
It's a fantastic cigar. It's very well blended. I mean, all of the flavors working together. It's complex. It does. I'm getting more of the cedar now. I am getting the woody flavors from it, as well as the spice, especially on that retrohale.
I'm gonna try that.
Paul?
It's very well balanced.
I started out not loving this cigar.
Really?
It had a couple of good flavors.
Okay.
The spice and the cedar that I detected right away, and I was concerned that all the flavor was only on the front of my palate. But as the cigar has proceeded, more flavors have come in, the cream and the nuts, and it's covering much more of my palate, so I'm enjoying it way more than I did before. And I also have to say, this thing puts out a boatload of smoke.
Boatload. Tia? I caught you mid-smoke?
You
She's trying to
did.
retro
I did, and I brought it in, and I tried to breathe out the nose, and it didn't work. So, anyway, it's very spicy, but it's like he said, the flavors all work together. Even though it's very spicy, the creaminess seems to mellow it out a little bit. I'm definitely getting the oak or maybe roasted nuts on the back of the palate. I think it burns even. Great construction. The band is very classic. And it's a good cigar. It's one of my favorites.
Rob?
Nice. I agree with Scott. It's a very well-balanced cigar. There's a lot of things going on with it. I'm getting a white pepper taste on this. It's not overly spicy like a Don Pepin cigar or anything like that.
No.
It's very smooth. I do get the woody notes to it, and I also get the roasted nuts. I think it's really good, especially through the retro hail. I get the roasted nut taste to it. It's nice.
For me, I echo everybody's statement. Kind of reminds me of the old Cuban punch. Very, very similar taste to the old Cuban punch. Not the new Cuban punch, but the old Cuban punch. Very well constructed, a lot of smoke, a lot of complex flavors.
It is.
It dances all over your tongue.
It
I mean,
does.
it does what a good cigar should really do.
Yeah.
So I guess with that, we should give it a rating since, again, we're running out of time.
I'll
Oh,
give
we
it
still got time.
a 9.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Fantastic cigar.
Okay.
And 9,
Excellent.
9 means excellent. Sorry.
I'm going to
It's
give it
an
an 8.5, which is
Which is
dead
a-
center between
It's
good
a-
and excellent.
It's exa-good.
Exa-good. Or Goodland.
Goodland. I like Goodland.
Let's move it.
8.5.
Goodland.
Stop that word. Just stop. I agree with Paul and Tia. It's 8.5.
I give it a solid
Good.
9. We're going to cut away to Chris Stone from Drew Estate, who will explain more about our events and all the programs we have running this month, October, for Drew Estate. We'll be right back.
Hi everyone, welcome back. We have Chris Stone here again, aka the Lobotomy Beats from Drew Estate. He's going to talk a little about Willie Herrera Esteli, not a new blender, but a new blender for Drew Estate.
A master blender.
Master blender.
He is now the master blender.
That's
That is
right.
correct.
Excuse me.
We picked him up basically last year. His cigar came out, the Herrera Esteli. It was rated 93, and then
I should have been higher.
Well, it was, and then it was rated number 8 for the year by
Wow.
Cigar Aficionado, and then it was rated 94, the pure mid-size.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's done very well for us. We have the new Norteño coming out.
Ooh.
Norteño is his Maduro. Boxes of 10 as opposed to the other full boxes that he had before. It's actually a San Andreas Maduro wrapper, Honduran binder, and then Nicaraguan fillers. Norteño means northern, so that's where Esteli is, the northern part of Nicaragua. So that's where that comes from.
And
Very
San
well
Andres is even farther north.
Oh, yeah, it's actually farther north.
Northwest.
But they're actually very hard to find. We only had a very small allotment come out.
Wow.
There's even smaller amounts of this than there are Liga. So very select stores you can find this in. And it happens to be Cigars is one of them.
Yeah.
Well, 9 of them. You can find them in all their stores.
Yep.
We're going to have more coming out soon. So stay on it, pay attention. We're going to get them in the stores. We're going to promote it. You guys can try it out. It's an excellent smoke.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah,
very
because
much.
Willie Herrera Esteli is amazing. That's one of my top favorites now.
So what I really want to know is, how did you get a name like Lobotomy Beats? Or do I not want to know that?
I just kind of create my own nicknames when I listen to certain hip hop songs or whatever I'm listening to.
fan.
Certain pieces come out and I grab them and I post every week what my events are going to be and where they're going to be. And I just do new nicknames. The Angry Gnome name, it's a long story. It wasn't even really originally my name. It was my boss's name. He passed it on to me.
What an honor.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So it's not even mine. But so I kind of ran with it and just created names and make it a little fun. But either way, you guys can always follow me. Got events constantly.
What is your Twitter or IG that they could follow?
It's Twitter and Instagram is Drew Estate Stone.
Drew
And
Estate Stone.
Facebook is Chris Stone Drew Estate. Whew. I spend a lot of time on there.
Well, in honor of your nickname, I have to say, and I've said it before, I'd rather have a bottle in front of me than a frontal lobotomy. Anytime.
We got a lot of good bottles here too. I brought in some of the stuff I like to pair my cigars with, and this is just a general sampling. I love Scotch, single malt Scotch, Lafroig, the real peaty single malt stuff. I enjoy. But I brought in some chocolate beer from Boulder Brewing, the shake. It's really like a chocolate shake. Big Gruesome is actually made out of a brewery in Lancaster. It's like a peanut butter cup. It's phenomenal. Then you've got Saucony Creek Brewery makes Maple Mistress, and this is a medley of pumpkin, spices, maple syrup, butternut squash, and a 9.5% beer. This is phenomenal. And then Martians Kidnap Santa is a eggnog stout. Right.
Eggnog stout.
Eggnog stout. You would never think those two go together. And I actually have people that don't like eggnog stouts or eggnog in general. Nasty Nick. But it actually goes together really, really well. It's a seasonal beer, but they got a lot of flavor, and you can kind of, people ask me, how do you pair things? And I say, well, I either do together or separate. So Kentucky Fire Cured, I would maybe smoke with a smoky scotch, so they play off each other. Or I would do something like a Cuba Cuba that plays against it. So I would have that smoky flavor play against the sweetness of the Cuba Cuba. So you can go either way. It's really what you like to smoke and drink, and you just try it out. You play with it and find out what really works well.
What would you pair with the Willie Herrera Esteli?
I might do the new Dead Rise by I think it's Flying Dog. They do it's a they use what is that? Old Bay seasoning in the beer.
Wow!
It's summer,
really
I'm gonna have
different.
to try
Really
that.
different.
Really?
summer ale. It's really crisp and clean.
Wow.
It's delicious.
Well, I gotta say, if I was gonna pair a beverage with every one of my 12 cigars a day, I'd be in a coma by noon.
You can only sip or something.
But actually, once again, it's been a pleasure to have you here, and I think we're gonna get you one more time next week.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks a lot, Chris.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Chris.
I appreciate it.
All right.
And we're back.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah,
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Make sure you get to those events.
Yeah. So
I don't know what you said.
you gave us the events for Drew, right?
Well, I can give them again.
Well, we're going to run out of time, but that's
Okay.
it.
Talk
fast.
Talk fast.
Talk fast.
This Friday, Horsham 11 to 2, Colmar 6 to 9.
Okay, that was pretty
That's
fast.
pretty fast.
High
We're just
five.
running in
Get
two
you.
I
stories?
really wanted to get to this best cigar we've never heard of.
Next
relate-
week.
It,
Next week. I got news
That's
for you.
next
it relates
We're
to
doing-
something Paul said.
We're doing it next
No,
week.
what are you taking from me? You
Next
better not
week.
be using mine.
Next week.
Next week.
No,
Next week.
you've
You've
never
said
heard
that
of
4
this.
weeks in a row.
Next week, we're going to talk about the best cigar that each of us have ever had that you've probably never heard of.
We think.
We've been trying to do this for
I know
weeks.
one's never
know.
heard of mine.
Okay.
Well, if we wait long enough, everyone will have heard of them.
That's
All right.
Possible.
I'll buy that.
All right.
Well,
See you, Gracie.
So,
it's been really
tune in next
wonderful
week.
working with all of you for the past year.
Yes, it has.
Yes.
It's been an honor and a
Remember,
pleasure.
we started with 7.
7 years?
Seven
seven on
people on
the
the
panel.
panel.
Yeah, we downsized.
Yeah, we downsized. Well, we saved a few bucks.
Again, we're getting paid for this?
Yeah.
I
It's my
couldn't
channel.
ask for 4 better people to smoke with. That's
Wonderful.
all I
Oh, thank you, Paul.
you.
Stop being sad.
I do love you guys.
And a quick goodbye will be in keeping with tradition here.
Come on.
Smoke often and smoke happy.
Hi, Dad. Smoke sweet. Bye-bye for now.
Ciao for now, everybody.
On behalf of our entire panel, we want to thank you for a year of viewing our program and hope you'll stay with us for the coming years. Bye-bye.